IT's pure keystone cops of the highest order. The EU tipped off Italy to send tooled up military police into a pharmaceutical factory to seize secret COVID vaccine destined for Britain. Except it wasn't secret, and it wasn't going to Britain. It was to be used only in EU countries and some of the world's poorer nations. But as a political act it was symptomatic of an EU which has ripped up the diplomatic rulebook in an increasingly dangerous, desperate and dumb attempt to deflect attention from Ursula von der Leyen and co.'s embarrassingly inadequate efforts to protect almost 500 million people from the ravages of COVID-19. Even ardent Remainers Keir Starmer and BBC legend John Humphrys now admit Brussels has comprehensively lost the plot on this, and we are now seeing across the channel what depths of evil second-rate politicians are capable of when gifted with unaccountable power. And, make no mistake, it is evil. When this shakes down, somebody cleverer than me will come up with a figure, and that figure will be the number of unnecessary deaths of fathers, mothers, brothers and sisters, which were caused by the EU's incompetence. No, that's too generous. Caused by the EU's belief that saving face and attacking Britain is more important than saving people's lives. The first crime was inaction. The inability to see the COVID freight train hurtling down the tracks at 100 miles per hour. But that is as nothing compared to the truly malevolent politics of withholding vaccines and indeed spreading out lies about their danger to slow uptake which would protect European citizens. Mr. Macron, Ursula von der Leyen, Angela Merkel, Michel Barnier and the whole sorry lot of them will have blood on their hands. One can only hope their consciences torture them every single day until the grave. Last night there was a half-hearted attempt to control the bad press on this. But weasel words are 10 a penny in politics, and we were merely treated to a textbook lesson in politicians issuing a statement saying absolutely nothing. The joint EU-UK statement read, "Given our interdependencies, we are working on specific steps we can take, in the short, medium and long term, to create a win-win situation and expand vaccine supply for all our citizens. In the end, openness and global cooperation of all countries will be key to finally overcome this pandemic and ensure better preparation for meeting future challenges." For my money, the two key weasel words to keep a weather eye on are reciprocity and proportionality. The EU, where many parts of the various vaccines are made, altered or assembled, is threatening to blockade countries which don't meet EU adjudged levels of reciprocity by exporting a percentage of doses. Proportionality refers to countries which have managed to achieve far higher vaccination rates among their population than the EU. Britain then. There is so much wrong with this it's hard to know where to start, except to say it is not just morally corrupt, it is like watching Brussels taking an AK-47 to both feet. On a broad level it merely entrenches the notion that the EU is rapidly becoming the new USSR, both dictatorial and stupid. Moves like this scream out the signature problem with socialist blocs, namely they tend to drag everyone down to a base level rather than allowing the exceptional to fly. But more particularly this is supranational state apparatus sending armed men into private companies, threatening to steal their patents and dictating who and how these companies can sell to. Good luck with attracting new international business to the EU, Ursula. It goes without saying that Ms. von der Leyen and her gang don't really seem to have thought through the laws they would have to break to enforce this and the mind-boggling scale of the lawsuit which would ensue. But then thinking ahead doesn't seem to be an EU strong suit. Strangely, and very much against the run of play, a partial way out of this mess was offered by European Commissioner Thierry Breton. Obviously Thierry had to take the mandatory swipe at Britain, accusing us of vaccine nationalism instead of prudent and timely investment in a product we thought we might need, but then he went on to suggest what we might need to do is accelerate production rather than allow millions of COVID vaccines to lie unused in European warehouses. And he's spot on. Of course what everybody needs to do is accelerate production by any means necessary, be that money, manpower, or cutting red tape. Of course Thierry is that rarest of EU animals, a bloke who had a proper job in business before taking the Brussels shilling. His proposals now have to pass through committee. Don't hold your breath, we are in camels and needles territory.